Hi guys, today we are going to analyze an Invoked Eldlich decklist. We are going to do the card by card, then the combos, and then I'm going to give my closing thoughts. This exact same decklist was used by Andres Torres to win an online PPG event, and I think it's very good. I have two problems with them. One is very minor, one isn't, and I'm going to explain you why. I mean, he has his reasons, like I have faced this exact same decklist before, and I think it's really good. But I still don't agree with the card he decided to cut. But still, I think this is very good. So let's go. Two Golden Boy. People is starting to play only two Golden Boy because Eldlich is a secondary engine in this deck. Like the main engine are the invoked cards. So Eldlich takes a backseat. The reasoning for Eldlich cards to be here is to give the deck legs against control decks, or to give it alternate plays in case the main line of play fails. It's pretty much the same reasoning as why people is playing like Synchron Eldlich. It's pretty much the same thing though. However, because the Golden Boy is not important to open with, like in a pure or control version, you can definitely cut it to 2 because you are not playing 2, you are actually playing 5. And then if you discard the Golden Lands, you're going to get the Elixirs and the actual Elixirs. So you are like playing a gazillion copies. It's completely redundant to play the third copy. People place 2 because they are afraid of Call by the Grave or Diddy Crow, which is fine. But if people were not afraid, I would totally go ahead and tell you that one is optimal. But it's fine. The standard ratio for pretty much every non-control Eldritch build is 2 for Golden Boy. Then Researchers, the only thing I'm going to say is that it's amazing with Magician Souls because it sets up like a free gazillion of card advantage. So yeah, then people is playing like one elixir. Usually people cuts the White Destiny because White Destiny isn't very good. However, he has them here to be a toolbox options for this card, for these cards, just so he can cycle through them. Like in the Control Eldritch version, the Golden Lands get you to this to play in your own turn, and then these things will get you to this again, creating like a pseudo loop where you can keep cycling all of them out of your deck. Many people choosing not to play this usually don't have that option, so I think it's fine to play one-on-one. Also, because you have souls, I mean, that cannot be a justification, but it helps to have souls. Then, to Vaquero and Triconquistador, if you saw my profile about Synchro Eldlich, you saw that I'm already playing 2 and 2, but I played like the counter. Here, I think he did the smarter thing, which is play Triconquistador instead of this. The reason is because Conquistador is a bit better going second rather than the counter. So that's one thing, but the thing I really wanted to highlight is that people is starting to cut on these cards. Like, I think the optimal ratio is like 2, 2, and 3, and we can call it a day. Then 3 Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine, very good card, nothing to say here. Then we have the Invoked Engine, which is Meltdown, Terraforming, the 2 Invocations, the 3 Alisters, and then the Magician Souls engine, which is part of the Eldlich, of the Invoked engine. Like, I wouldn't play any Invoked variant without Magician Souls, and I'm going to explain you why in a short while. But yeah, these cards have a lot of synergy with the Eldlich cards because Magician Souls can send the Meltdown or can send any of these things, and you get a lot of card advantage. So it's really good. Not only that, it's the correct extender for the deck, so it's super good. The mana is better in my opinion for Invoked than the Apprentice because you get a light monster. Not only that, it protects Magician Souls from Bailer or Impermanence, because if they Bailer Impermanence, you're going to punish them with a free mana, which is really good. So yeah, nothing more to say here. And then, like I've told you, like if you have followed my videos about Adamantipator or about Synchro Eldlich, you would have realized by now that I'm a super fan of playing 12 to 15 hand traps in main deck because it gives you a fighting chance when you go second. So Andres does the only smart thing you can do, which is play the hand traps. While he played a fairly standard hand trap lineup, he decided to play Ghost Ogre, which is a card that is overlooked by many people. This card's super good, super potent in this meta, because it can actually stop all of the problem cards at different stages of the combo, and you can get different millage out of it. It's especially good if you're throwing like a second hand trap. Why so? Because let's say that Adamancipator commits their normal summon to create like Gallant Granite, then you can hit the Gallant Granite with the Ogre, and then Adamancipator deck is going to be in a tough spot because they are not going to be able to summon the Toners, or if you don't want to do that, you can wait until the 5 racks. Taking off the 5 racks is going to complicate things because they are not going to be able to climb to Auroradon that easily, or you can hit the Auroradon because then they are going to get the tokens and the Despot 001, but they are not going to getting the Olion, which is what completes the combo. So it's super good. This card should be a 3, which is my minor grip. Like I would have like played like 1 Ash and 3 Ogre, but I mean he knows what he's doing. This is a really minor grip. Then we have to Baylor. Baylor is super good this format for the same reason as Ogre. It's less powerful because it leaves a body so they can climb into Linkross or into Auroradon easier. So Ogre is a bit better. Then Ash, this card's super mediocre. Like people should give up on this card. I don't like this card. It's super weak. Like it's like the worst possible outcome between Baylor and Ogre. I don't like this card. It's versatile, but it's weak. And then the Trinibiru, which is super good. Even if you draw them dead, like you have to do it because otherwise you're going to be in severe disadvantage when you go second. And then through Phantasme, like I've already explained you in a prior video, Phantasme is super underrated. Like this card should see more play because all of the broken combos start with a Link Monster. Link Monsters are still super good. The Master Root change didn't change, I think. Like Link Monsters are still the best extra deck monsters and are the gateway to the broken combos, so there's no reason not to play Phantasme. Then I'm going to explain to you quickly the extra deck. Almirage is part of the Aleister combo. Linkuriboh is important because it's not only part of a combo with Linkross, it's also important because when you have like Caliga and Linkuriboh, your opponent is pretty much locked. Like Adamancipator like has literally no answer game 1 against this because if they try to run over Caliga, Linkuriboh is going to punish them, and they only have like one monster effect and 1 attack, and then Linkuriboh basically cancels the attack. So they are in a really tough spot, and yeah, that's why he's playing it. Many people don't understand it, but that's the main use. We have other reasons, but that's the main use. Then we have Linkross, which is part of a combo I'm gonna show you. This is Secure Gardna is because it's part of the Aleister standard combo. Then Cruship because it's part of combos. Then he plays Nightmare Phoenix, which is a card I wouldn't play. Like I would play a different card here, which is Invoker of Madness. I don't agree with this. He's the better player, so I'm not going to say he's wrong. I just personally don't agree with this because Aleister Invoker is what pushes this deck to the next level when you open the right hand. Maybe that was his reasoning. Like Invoker of Madness is only like super good if I open like an extender and Aleister, and Nightmare Phoenix can get me out of tough spots. You can also use it in some setups to protect like Linkross with Caliga, and then it starts to become really hard to kill you. So keep in mind that that's the goal of the deck, because this guy and Linkross are co-linked, they will be protected, and that means you are 1 material shy of summoning your Access Code Talker, which is like your key victory card. I'm gonna explain it in a bit more detail later, but I mean, it's not an incorrect choice, but I just would have preferred Invoker of Madness. Then the 5 racks, the reason as of why he runs 5 racks, many people won't know and won't understand, is because one of the main win conditions for this deck is Access Code Talker. Why so? Because it basically sets up a field turn 1, and then in turn 2 he changes that field for an Access Code Talker to clear the board and basically eradicate the opponent. So what he does is summon the Effect Baylor with 5 racks, and then summon Celine, and then summon Baylor back. And then that alone gets him to Access Code Talker, and then because we sent all of these cards super early to the graveyard, you are going to have enough field to clear a board and get this thing like over 5,000 attack points. Then Omega is just for certain situations. It didn't come up a lot to me. Caliga is super good against Adamancipator. Like this card's super critical against that deck. and also it's fairly good versus Synchron Eldlich. So yeah, amazing card. Purgatria just for the comeback and to try to kill people faster. It's not the main beater though. The main beater is Access Code Tucker. And then to Mekaba. Then we're quickly going to cover his side deck, which is basically 3 token collector. This is because it's an extra hand trap for Auroradon. Remember when I told you that Ghost Ogre could cut the combo in a critical point? Well, token collector to me is a worse version of Ghost Ogre. Like Ghost Ogring the Auroradon tokens or the Auroradon itself. I mean, it's more powerful to blow out the tokens, but it's pretty much you have already prevented the worst part if you take care of the Auroradon, and Ghost Ogre is a better card, but kind of the same logic. Ruler No More for going second. This is for Eldlich, for the mirrors to make them faster, to make the Eldlich mirror faster. Many people is going to think that maybe he sides this in when going first, but I wouldn't assume so, because the last time I talked with Burger is my friend, well, I'm going to tell you who's Burger later, but basically what they are doing is playing this card against the Eldlich mirror to cut them off for an important resource and then gain with the tempo advantage. This card, he chose this card as a swap for going first instead of Red Lotus or Solemn Judgment, which is fine. It kills Adamantivators, it can kill several decks when going first. And because he doesn't rely on specific combos, he's super fine with this card. And then Golden Land Forever, he basically just swaps this card for the third Conquistador if he goes first. There's no magic here. So I'm gonna explain you the combos quickly. And this is the basic invoke play for people that is unfamiliar with this. So basically what we do is one Allister, and then add Invocation, Almirage, secure Gardna, and Mekaba. Then we are going to have enough cards to mount a defense, because we have 1, 2, and 3 interruptions, and then 2 free monsters. So it's very likely we are going to survive. There's nothing secret here, this combo is very old. However, I'm gonna show you the other combo, which is the Allister Barrage, which is the reason I think that Invoker of Madness should be played. Like, this is one of the best hands you can get, but I tried to play it like just with the Meltdown and the Souls, right? So what I do here is like play a cards and Invoker in that of Madness. This is super important that this card is mana for this play. If it was Apprentice, we wouldn't be that lucky to pull this play off. So what we do here is invoke a Mekaba and then pay 1 card from our hand to add a second invocation. Then we're going to return this invocation to our deck, so we have a cap of 3 fusions for this turn. So look at this. We play the second one, we go for Caliga, and we burn our effect for the turn for Invoker of Madness to add invocation again. Then we swap Invocator of Madness for Linkros. We can put token because Caliga is preventing it, so it doesn't matter. We only needed that second light monster. So now we play Cross Ship and do the second Mekaba, and then get the Caliga we spent back. And then we just basically do Golden Boy Stuffy, and then we're going to get another free card in the end phase. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the main reason as of why I don't agree about cutting Invoker of Madness, because that opening is super powerful. I'm going to show you what happens and some of the stuff he was doing when going first now. So we're going to add Invoker of Madness, the same basic thing. We're going to have a different outcome because in this version, this is his version where we don't have like Invoker of Madness. We go for Linkros, then we swap Linkros for Linkuribo, and then we get another free card. And then this is important, like this might look underwhelming, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4 interruptions, then this, and then an extra free Linkuribo, and these monsters are not going to die. What's going to happen if our opponent is unable to clear our board? and this is hard to kill with all of this defense. What happens here is that we are going to have enough materials to go for access code talker. Like we are just one monster shy. Like we could summon a Leicester, and then we are going to have the 4 monsters required. And because we're going to have like 1, 2, 3, 4 different attributes, we're going to be able to clear 4 of the cards. So, and we are going to have this massive thing on the field, and we're going to win really quickly. So that's pretty much it. That's the basic line of play. It's not a deck meant to make the big board turn 1. It's a deck more based around resisting or surviving turn 1 and then OTKing with access code talker. That's the main strategy. I think it's a good strategy. So yeah, I'm going to go back for the closing thoughts. What I think about this deck is that it's excellent. Like, it's tailored to beat like the Synchro Eldlich and the Adamancipator matchup, so it definitely has a place in the meta. However, I think that Synchro Eldlich is a bit better because it has more space to adapt. Like, this deck list has literally no more space to adapt. Like, if the format swaps again, like, this thing is not going to be able to adapt. It's going to be able to play differently. Like, it only has these 12 slots to maybe main deck some other cards like Ruler No More or stuff, but in all honesty, like, it's not going to be able to evolve that much. So yeah, it's kind of a disadvantage. However, Adamancipator and Synchro Eldlich both can keep evolving a lot and change their strategies a lot. A good thing about this deck is that it doesn't use like Haki 5 Rex, so if they ban like Auroradon or Jet or stuff, this deck is going to be able to be played and it will still be good. So that's a big advantage. And I think even if this is not the best deck in my opinion, this is likely the second best deck. This deck I would rate above Adamancipator. So keep in mind that this deck is going to be played, and learn how to play and learn how to counter it. How do you counter it? Is basically, it's very hard to counter because it's hand trap resilient in a weird way. Like, a single hand trap can stop like the Invoker of a Madness play, but then you are not going to be able to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Super fine because all of these interruptions, and then eventually he's going to do stuff again with his own Alistair, and then that's the way he beats you. So it's hard. You're basically going to have to use this card, Dark Ruler or more, when you go second, and yeah, going first you are going to have to outplay the hand traps. It's hard, but you are going to have to find a way. Keep in mind that this thing has like a 60% chance to open too, so you are going to have to optimize your deck to resist 2 hand traps rather than 1. So that's pretty much it for today. One last thing, he wasn't citing Lightning Storm because Lightning Storm is super bad this format. There are no control decks. Like, people stopped playing like Control Eldlich, and people is now playing more combo decks. And against combo decks, Storm is terrible because most people is summoning stuff in defense turn 1, so it's basically a useless card. So I would totally advise you to not main deck them, and especially not siding them versus combo. Like, if you're going to play them on the side, keep them up for control decks. Like, hope you found this video useful, and see you on the next time.